Shingwauk, Vera. So I would love to acknowledge those grandmas and grandpas that all of us wouldn't be here without our own relatives, our own lineage, and certainly as you listen to the passion that Jay, Shirley, and Irene shared, and certainly the passion that every speaker we asked to be here for you shared, really puts us in a place for some possibly challenging work when we get home, maybe some affirming work when you get home, you're on track, you've started, and certainly maybe some celebration that you are helping to bring truth and reconciliation to the forefront of what you do as educators, as educational institutions, as leaders, and ultimately as human beings. Listening to Senator Murray Sinclair speak and share a week ago, I talked about this earlier. He talked about the importance of moving forward, that truth is hard. It's hard to hear, it's hard to speak. And we've done that for the last little while as a result of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission and the thousands of people who opened their hearts to share. People, who had held on to that information, as Jay said, sometimes for decades. And when you think about what, where we are in 2019, and as I listened to Senator Murray Sinclair speak, he talked about reconciliation is going to be even harder than listening to the truth. And when I was thinking about it, I was like, oh my goodness, we thought we had hard work in the last little while. Hard work is yet to come. But he said it is manageable and we are able to get through it. And how we're going to be able to do that was with education. And who are we here, gathered over the last 3 days? Who are we? We're educators. We're people that believe in education. And so I thank our grandmas and grandpas, ours collectively, our grandmas and grandpas who brought us here. One of the things that I've shared with a very good friend of mine and colleague over the last year and a half that I've been working with her is that you're always exactly right where you're supposed to be at any given time. So I really hope those of you that traveled here from wherever you were, who are able to stay with us until that next shuttle that leaves in about 43 minutes or so, 53 minutes, sorry, that you are exactly right where you are supposed to be right now. I would love to acknowledge and call up to the stage with me our internal planning committee. So if I could ask Brian, Lauren, Colin, Ozma, and I don't know if anybody else is not here from Algoma staff. I acknowledge their names. And then Della, if you could please join us from SKG. This is our internal planning committee. These are the folks that met quite regularly. We debated over things, we would come up with ideas, and we would throw it out to our larger planning committee, which actually was right across Canada. Our representatives from all the different stakeholders who brought this event together for you. And I think probably what, come on up here, please, internal committee. Oh, we got our communications, our whole team, that's awesome. Melissa from Anishinaabe Initiatives, yes, thank you. And Ozma, you need to come up here too. Della's up here. This is some of our team. Some of us aren't here, but this is some of our team that really thought with good intentions about what we were going to, create. And then we would present it to our larger organizing committee. So I thank all of you partners that committed probably 7 months ago to phone calls. Every month we would talk, and we would shoot ideas around. Us as an internal committee would find out some questions and answers and shoot some more information around. But our partners, at Cape Breton, UNBC, Nipissing, and then our internal committee here, they really trusted us with pulling things together logistically on this site. So although it feels that sometimes we're showcasing or talking about Algoma University and Shingwauk Kinamagagamek, we are also talking about our colleagues from the smaller northern institutions, our partners. I want to thank all of you for, oh, darn it. I really want to thank all of you. As Jay indicated, I come from a family that struggles with residential school, just like he did. And the investment from you absolutely warms my heart. To seeing and enacting. Sometimes it was crazy. I would be running from one meeting to the next, to the next, to the next, and next thing you know, it was our time for our planning call, and I didn't even have my agenda sent off yet. And my colleague Colin, okay, don't worry about it. Go finish what you got to do, and I'm going to go see communications. Janie and Megan would help at the drop of a hat. Most of this team is non-Indigenous, but they had my back. They had the back of our host consortium, and I thank you for that. My tears. My mom always said to me, don't ever don't ever feel bad about your tears when they fall. They're supposed to fall. And sometimes what you do is you cry for the people that can't. And I'm like, do I have to cry so much though? Because sometimes that's what happens. The spirit moves you and that's what happens. But all of us here really hope that you enjoyed your time in our territory, on our campus, among the land of the Ojibwe. This place has been a gathering place for generations, hundreds of years. And the action that happens when people gather for generations has been recorded. And so it is being recorded. Creation is listening. The universe is watching. And now you are tasked with going home to put into action reconciliation in your institution. So I thank all of you. You are my family, my work family.
We're having a big party next week for
Yay.
this team.
Yes, yeah, we are. And I can actually say that I love you in our language, Gazaganim. I really do express from my home fire to yours, miigwech. So, with that acknowledgement of this team, we also wish to acknowledge the person and the people with her that literally made this magic come together. And so I don't know if she's in here, but Tuesday, you need to come here. Majan, I see you. So, yeah. So Tuesday is the president of TAP Resources. You would have received emails from her company when you registered. If you called the office because you had questions, we would have referred you to Tuesday. There were many times when people thought her name was Ona, because in her language, that is how you extend greetings. And so Tuesday, on behalf of our internal organizing committee, but as well as our larger, really coast-to-coast committee, we wish to say Chimigwech You absolutely helped us pull off a magical event. Miigwech. Oh, Ozma wants her to talk. Come on, Tuesday.
You gotta say something.
Come. Please. Even if it's just a small something.
Oh, man. I'm a behind-the-scenes girl, but it has been a true honor to work with this crew. Everybody, maintenance, the volunteers, everybody has been just so incredible. Working on the agenda and working to pull in the speakers for this forum, I got to tell you, I was really excited about it. I was talking to my mom about the work that was being done here, and she said, I want to go too. She's an retired teacher, but she wanted to go too, so I paid her registration, and she's not here today. She got tired, but she was here for the last 2 days, and she was uplifted. And so I thank you all for that.
Awesome. The other important part is, as Tuesday indicated, the behind-the-scenes people. We have a really small plant department. We really do. But the guys have been, the whole team of the plant department has been so willing to help at the drop of a hat. Sometimes I'm phoning them an hour before something asking for help, and they help us out just like that. They stayed the other night. I had to leave here to go and MC and moderate a panel at White Pines at our evening event. And the guys were sitting outside the lodge, and they were eating dinner while our visitors were inside the lodge eating dinner, visiting, networking, and so on. And they had no problem waiting until the end to collect my blankets that were put out on the hay bales. Very special sacred items to me and my family, and they stepped up to take care of them for me. They, would suggest things, and we would say okay, and other times we would suggest things, and they would say okay. So our plant department was amazing. The other thing I would like to acknowledge is for our partner institutions, as well as up here, we have our communications team. You have no idea how tough a job that is if you've never done it. And I've watched our communications team, which AKA is the communications team right across the land, do amazing work. And the reach out, the promotion, the campaign, the marketing, the hosting of, creating in the drop of a hat, really creating the communication pieces that have to go out to the media. A lot of pressure. And to do it in such a kind way, a good way, a way right across the land is something that we, as the internal committee, want to acknowledge and say thank you for. So we hope that you have enjoyed your time here. The last part of, for us as Ojibwe people, in terms of ceremony that we like to acknowledge is a giveaway. When we come together, gift exchange is something that's really important. It can be the simplest of things. It can be the most intricate of things. It can be something that's purchased. It can be something that's made. And it could be something from your own personal, who you are, that you've brought to this pile. We asked if you could bring something so that when you left, you could take something. And so I'm going to ask our organizing group to help us with the distribution. I'm going to ask James to talk about that from Ojibwe teaching, to talk about this process and the giveaway song that we will ask Bear Creek to sing while they're doing this portion. Sometimes we have different kinds of songs for those of you who have songs in your own tribal home area. Around here, we have different songs. We have thank you songs that sound like a sidestep or a round dance kind of style. We have others that sound straight, So depending on what territory you're in, you might hear different versions. I'm going to ask our guys to sing what they feel is appropriate.